YouTube, top 20 times the Simpsons predicted the future. Y'all, if y'all know about the Simpsons, man, the Simpsons is fucking wild. That's why I don't really watch this show. Like, it's a cool show, but I would never sit down. Like, do people really just sit down and watch the Simpsons? Like, there's no way. I mean, I can understand like Family Guy, but that's more like a late night show or like some background noise. So is American Dad, but the Simpsons, I really just can't see me like sitting down trying to watch the Simpsons. Unless it's the Simpsons movie. I've seen that whole about 10 times, I swear. But y'all, welcome new subscribers, new people. Hey, I want to thank y'all for all the love and support. No matter how many views it is, no matter how many views this get, I just want to appreciate y'all for supporting me and loving me. And that's really all I gotta say. Let's go ahead and get to the video. Let's go.
Virtual darts. I'm trying to play virtual pool.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 times The Simpsons predicted the future.
Oh, what a bleak, horrible future we live in!
For this list, we're looking at times when jokes or scenes from the long-running sitcom played out in real life.
How many
Which joke
seasons
did
is
you
this?
think would become reality one day? Let us know in the comments below.
You like it?
Number 20, Disney buys Fox. This episode from season 10 aired on November 8th, 1998, long before Disney and Fox considered an acquisition. At the end of the episode, a sign appears that reads 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Co. According to the episode's writer, Richard Appel, the joke was written out of, quote, a general sense that soon Disney would own us all.
You've got to keep our secret, Homer.
He definitely wasn't wrong when it came to
that's
Fox.
actually
Nearly
fucking
20
wild.
years later, on December 14th, 2017, Disney announced that it was
Disney is
buying
really like a
21st
monopoly
Century
at
Fox
this
for
point.
just
Like, they
over
own
$52
everything, damn near.
billion. And with that, The Simpsons officially became Disney characters. The 2021 Plusiversary short showed just how strange and funny it is to see Springfield residents hang out with Mouse House characters.
Oh, I wish I was your sidekick.
He's mine!
Oh, this hard. I'm about to watch
Number
this episode.
19, Smartwatches. In the episode Lisa's Wedding, we see the titular character prepare for a union in the year 2010. To prove that they're in the future, her fiancé, Hugh Parkfield, speaks into a wrist device that seemingly functions as both a watch and telephone.
Oh, blast. Go to plan B.
Modern audiences would probably think nothing of it today. However, the episode aired in 1995. Smartwatches were still in their infancy then. While similar devices did pop up in mediums like spy movies, the idea that an average citizen would
I
have
ain't gonna
access
lie.
to a phone watch was
Look. Smartwatches are so pointless. I don't even know why I own me a smartwatch. What is the point of a smartwatch? Please, can somebody really sit down and give you a valid reason for a smartwatch? Because literally, I literally just had the money, and I was like, man, fuck, I'm finna give it. I don't even use it. I probably used it 5-6 times, if that. Like, I used it to track my exercise. That's about it. Like that, like, what, man. Do not buy a smartwatch. That's the most like worthless piece of money that you could waste. Like, why aren't you buying a smartwatch?
relatively original. It turned out that The
I
Simpsons
can't
wasn't
talk.
far
I
off
really can't talk.
because the first smartwatch that functioned as a telephone was introduced in 1999.
Don't worry, honey. I guarantee your father will behave.
Mom, it's a picture phone.
Oh, this? Oh, no, I just got a touch of the rheumatiz.
Number 18, really old fan mail. During season 2's Brush with Greatness, Beatles drummer Ringo Starr appeared as himself and responded to some very old fan mail.
They took the time to write me, and I don't care if it takes me another 20 years. I'm going to answer every one of them.
This includes finally answering Marge, who had sent him some correspondence all the way back in high school. It turns
Damn.
out that this plot wasn't that unrealistic. While the real-life occurrence didn't involve Ringo Starr, it did bring in Paul McCartney. The legendary musician learned about a tape that was recorded by two fans back in 1963. Sometime after he got it, the BBC helped the older fans get McCartney's written response. Although it took 50 years, they seemed to appreciate him writing back.
Dear Marge, thanks for the fab painting of yours truly. I hung it on me wall. You're quite an
On
artist.
me
Number
wall.
17, legalized marijuana in Canada. The Simpsons managed to predict the future and take shots at the American healthcare system in one delightful plot.
And that's why I personally thank God we pay too much for drugs.
I mean, the right amount.
When Mr. Burns cancels the prescription drug plan, many other companies follow suit. After people realize they can't afford medication, they hoof it over to Canada to get what they need. The journey paves the way for Ned to meet his Canadian
I'm not even gonna
doppelganger.
lie.
During the encounter,
Drugs?
the Springfield native was
Bro,
offered some
drugs
legal
so like
reefer
normalized.
Hey, would you
where
like to
it's
puff on a
illegal.
Reno?
Bro,
It's legal here.
it's illegal,
Or
but
they say
I
it
see
would
it
be
so much like
attractive.
it's damn near
Let's go.
illegal.
While the green stuff wasn't legal in Canada at the time, it didn't take too long. Reeferino was officially given the okay across Canada in October 2018. That was nearly 14 years after the episode aired in January 2005.
Wow.
Number 16, The Shard.
Wow, you can see into the present.
Now we'll see what the future holds.
The writers must have really been looking into a crystal ball when they came up with Lisa's wedding in the 90s. When they weren't dreaming up futuristic phone watches, the animators were plopping in buildings that hadn't existed yet. While Lisa is in London, viewers are given a glimpse of various famous landmarks. It was pretty normal to see Big Ben and the Tower Bridge.
Okay.
However, there's also a pointy skyscraper. In March 2009, work started on what would eventually become
Nigga.
the Shard. It would
What?
ultimately become the tallest building in the entire country. Not
Wow.
only does the Shard bear a startling resemblance to the tower seen in The Simpsons, but it's even in the right location. Now that's just eerie.
Oh,
Nah, that's
it's
fucking
good
insane.
to hear a boisterous American laugh.
Number 15, Autocorrect. When Dolph wrote Beat Up Martin into his Apple Newton in 1994, the phrase hilariously turned into Eat Up Martha.
Hey, Dolph, take a memo on your Newton. Beat up Martin. Bah!
This was a joke
I hate
aimed at the
autocorrect,
Apple
man.
Newton, which
Like,
was notoriously
I
bad
could be
at
saying
recognizing
anything, and
handwriting.
it just switched
But
up
it
the
also
whole sentence
predicted the
around.
issues that autocorrect would bring to handheld devices.
Maybe I just don't know how to type. I don't know
Autocorrect
what it is.
was around by 1994 in programs like Microsoft Word. However, it wouldn't be until 2007 that autocorrect became a common and notorious problem for handheld devices. The joke actually did affect real-life development as well. Apparently, Apple developers made sure that autocorrect worked as well as it could after being lightly mocked in the episode.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Number 14, the mass of the Higgs boson. The writers of The
No.
Simpsons are extremely smart.
Excuse me, are you a student at this school?
I think it's pretty obvious that I am. Go school!
So much so that they pretty much figured out the mass of the Higgs boson particle 14 years
Oh, I
earlier.
heard about this one.
In the episode The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer becomes an inventor and writes a complicated math equation on a chalkboard. This complicated series of numbers and symbols was penned by episode writer David X. Cohen and his astronomer friend David Sheminovich. Physicist Simon Singh later claimed that Homer's equation closely correlates to the real mass of the Higgs boson particle.
Wow.
While the episode aired in 1997, the mass wasn't officially discovered until 2012. We guess Homer's much sometimes.
They're on hinges. That's really ingenious, Dad.
Number 13, the Roy Horn Tiger Attack. When Springfield legalizes gambling, Mr. Burns opens a casino and hires Gunter and Ernst to stage an animal show.
A round of applause, please, for Anastasia. She loves show business. So much nicer than the savagery of the jungle, yeah?
In a
why he
horrifying
talking
turn
like
of events,
Like he got
they
something
are
in his mouth.
attacked by their white tiger Anastasia. Even more horrifying is what came after. These two are modeled after Siegfried and Roy. This real-life duo formerly ran a highly popular Vegas show at the Mirage Resort and Casino. Around 10 years after the episode aired, Roy Horn was attacked by a tiger named Manticore while performing a show. He unfortunately suffered many serious injuries. While Horn survived the gruesome incident, the performer had to leave show business after the attack.
What are you gonna
That's
do?
crazy.
Start your own casino? In your treehouse? And get all your little friends to come? I'd like to see that!
Number 12, Lady Gaga's halftime show. As the title suggests,
I've
the
never seen
2012
this.
Lisa Goes Gaga episode sees pop star Lady Gaga visiting Springfield and winning the Young Simpsons.
I don't even know what Lady Gaga even look like.
I
Like,
just
real
can't
life,
ignore a
I
billboard
swear to
in
God, I don't know
pink.
how she look.
We're stopping in Springfield.
But-
No buts.
During her musical performance, the musician wears a bluish-silver outfit and flies over the crowd in a harness. The scene initially came off as a satirical love letter to Gaga's outrageous and bombastic style. However, it eventually became a reflection of real life. When Lady Gaga performed the
Yes, sir?
halftime show at Super Bowl 51 in 2017, the similarities to the Springfield
not think she
concert
gonna look like
were
that.
striking. Lady Gaga wore an outfit very similar to the one seen on the animated show. Additionally, she just so happened to hover over the crowd in a harness.
What's wrong, honey? Please, I've had
Number 11, Airplane Restaurant. Poor Homer and Marge couldn't even enjoy a nice
They got
night
that
out.
in real life?
Look, honey, I clipped on my tie all by myself.
And you look as handsome as the day we were married.
Oh, happy anniversary, Marge.
Their plans to visit the Gilded Truffle for their wedding anniversary were ruined when Grandpa failed to show up to babysit. Eventually, they're forced to skip out on the fancy restaurant and are taken to visit Up Up and Buffet. This airplane-themed restaurant simulates turbulence and serves leftovers in ARF bags. Since the episode aired in 1998, various airplanes have been converted into restaurants. These are located across the globe and serve food ranging from McDonald's to steak. Hopefully, most of these real restaurants stay stationary.
I'm gonna have to go to that. That's hard.
Number 10, Nobel Prize winner Bengt Holmstrom. A 2010 Simpsons story saw Martin, Milhouse, Database, and Lisa bet on the winners of the various Nobel Prizes.
We're watching the Nobel Prize announcements live from Stockholm.
Oh, the Nobies!
When viewers are given a brief glimpse of the betting pool, they see that Milhouse has bet on Bengt Holmstrom to win economics. But Martin won the bet by picking Jagdish Bhagwati. However, Milhouse was close. He was just 6 years off. In 2016, both Holmstrom and Oliver Hart won Nobel Prizes in economic sciences, quote, for their contributions to contract theory. While we will not try to explain what that is, we're sure Milhouse already knows.
Your work.
He's clearly smart enough to predict the future.
It's time for the noblest Nobel Prize of all, the Peace Prize.
I would kill for that.
Number 9, Daenerys burns King's Landing. Game of Thrones had a real stinker of an ending. So bad that it was an actual joke on The Simpsons. The Surfsons is the 29th season premiere and takes place in an alternate medieval kingdom called Springfieldia.
Water soup again?
Damn.
Now it's gross.
What?
The end of the episode sees Homer reviving a dragon, which proceeds to rain fire on a nearby village. Look familiar? Nearly 2 years later, Game of Thrones would feature a very similar scene when Daenerys used Drogon to raise King's Landing. This story development was heavily criticized by fans and critics alike, and it didn't take social media long to scream, "Simpsons did it!"
Look, the dragon is burning our village.
I love our life.
Number 8, Yard Work Simulator. When the Simpson family visits Colonel Tex's traveling carnival, Bart is drawn to a virtual reality game called Yard Work Simulator. Marge hilariously informs him that he can do real work like this at home.
I want to go on the Yard Work Simulator.
But when I ask you to do yard work,
Naturally, real effort doesn't seem that appealing to Bart. But things have definitely changed since this episode aired in 1998. Modern gaming is full of simulator experiences. Through consoles, PCs, and smartphones, players can do seemingly boring chores digitally. There's even options to perform these tasks in virtual reality. While the games aren't for everyone, 90s Bart would be in heaven in the 21st century.
The world's so
chop my
lost,
hands
man.
halfway off, and then I'll still have enough strength to chop it.
What?
Number 7, Snake Clubbing. In the 4th season episode Whacking Day, the citizens of Springfield get together for an annual event in which they round up snakes and eliminate them in the town square.
In a tradition that dates back to founding father Jebediah Springfield, every May 10th local residents gather to drive snakes into the center of town and whack them to snake heaven.
This was reportedly influenced by real events called rattlesnake rodeos. Those events involve trading, releasing, and occasionally slaying the reptiles. But this episode predicted even more violent occurrence. In 2013, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission started the Python Challenge.
And the Lord said, "Whack ye all the serpents which crawl on their bellies, and thy town shall be a beacon unto others."
This event calls for Floridians to capture or eliminate as many Burmese pythons as possible for a $10,000 prize. In 2022, a competitor named Matthew Concepcion won by capturing 28 snakes.
Oh, whacking day, oh, whacking day.
Yeah.
Our hallowed snakes, skull cracking day.
Yeah.
Number 6, the bloody billboard. Itchy and Scratchy make their way onto the big screen in this episode from season 4.
You'll find it in the Itchy and Scratchy movie, coming soon to a theater near you. 53% new footage.
Wow.
In order to promote their
53%
movie,
footage.
the studio puts out a disgusting interactive billboard. It mainly dumps a red blood-like substance onto passers-by and into their cars. A slight
There's no
variation
way.
on this
There's
theme
no way
actually
it's
played
real.
out in 2008 in New Zealand. Back then, the state-owned TVNZ2 was promoting the television debut of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1.
It was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life! And you wouldn't believe the celebrities who did cameos. Dustin Hoffman, Michael Jackson.
A giant billboard was erected in Auckland that saw a
Wow.
giant stream of blood spraying onto nearby prop
That's
cars.
fire.
Luckily, no one in the vicinity reported that they were slathered in the liquid. The same cannot be said for the poor citizens of Springfield.
That's fire.
Number 5, the censoring of David. Few marble sculptures are as popular as Michelangelo's David.
No way. There's no way they did that. There's no way.
Our protest against this abomination.
But that's my
For real though, I can see them doing some bullshit like this nowadays, bro. Cause like, man, the world going each different way, bro. I really can't keep up. Like, there's certain things you can't say now. Like, you can't say hero. You gotta say like Shiro too. So I was like, God dang, like what can we say? What can we do?
Who's David? It's a masterpiece.
It's filth.
In the second season episode, Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, David goes on a tour throughout the eastern United
I get
States
it. We trying
and
to make
stops
everybody,
in
you know,
Springfield.
like
Some
me, but
people take
damn.
umbrage with the statue's nudity and attempt to censor it. There are people who even went so far as to cover it with a pair of jeans. With this gag, The Simpsons was both satirizing the past and predicting the future. Various campaigns have attempted to cover up David since the episode aired. Incidents have arisen in 2001, 2014, and 2016. It's unknown whether more campaigns to conceal the statue's natural form will pop up in the future.
I told you she was soft on full frontal nudity.
Number 4, gym mat food. After Principal
What?
Skinner makes some massive budget cuts at the school, the kids get really shoddy
What is
lunches.
that?
You cut back on everything. Salaries, supplies, the food. I don't care what you say, I can taste the newspaper.
The educator and the cafeteria staff even colluded to use shredded newspapers and gym mats as cheap food filler. In 2014, the public learned that many major fast food chains were using azodicarbonamide in their bread. This compound is used as an oxidizing agent with flour. It's also used to make vinyl foam. Ironically, that is what gym and yoga mats are made of. So, in an indirect way, real restaurants were taking a page out of Skinner's playbook. Fortunately, bad publicity caused many of these restaurants to drop azodicarbonamide as an ingredient.
There's very little
What?
meat in these gym mats.
Number 3, grease thefts.
what's the word come
Is there
to that?
anything that people won't steal? In Lard of the Dance, Homer and Bart conspire to sell grease for a profit. Upon realizing
Grease?
that everyday bacon grease won't do the trick, the duo starts stealing grease from the school and Krusty Burger.
Okay, boy, this is where all the hard work, sacrifice, and painful scoldings pay off.
The latter attempt even gets them in trouble with the mafia-like Acme Grease and Shovel Company. America saw a spate of grease thefts throughout 2012 when the price of used cooking oil skyrocketed. In one instance, 2 thieves stole grease from a McDonald's. Honestly, we do have to wonder if the real thieves got the idea from watching The Simpsons.
I
Just
swear,
better work,
man.
boy. I don't want to wind up working on your mother's emu farm.
Number 2, Blinky the Three-Eyed Fish. The Simpsons finds a source of humor
There's
in
no
many
way-
things,
there's no way.
including nuclear
Like, y'all
runoff.
reaching
At
on
the
this, but
start
there's
of
no
the
way.
second season episode, Bart catches a three-eyed fish that is named Blinky by the media.
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3.
The deformed
Why
fish
Bl-
was caught near a nuclear power plant that is
What?
found to
Why
have
you kept blinking in the
342 safety violations worth over $50 million.
I suppose that's normal background radiation, the kind you'd find in any well-maintained nuclear facility.
This remained a silly joke until 2011. During that year, fishermen in Cordoba, Argentina caught a three-eyed wolffish. Sure enough, the lake was used as a dumping ground for a nuclear power plant facility's hot water. We wouldn't recommend making a fillet out of that catch. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the
They had
option
a-
to be
they should
notified
show a
for
better
occasional
angle, though. I
videos
could
or
kinda
all of
see
them.
it, but not
If
for
you're on
real.
your phone, make sure you go into your settings
Look,
and
I ain't
switch
there
on
all
notifications. Number 1, President Trump.
Oh, yeah,
Like
we already
Lisa's
seen about
wedding, Bart to the Future depicts well, the future. While Bart lives as an aspiring rock star, Lisa is president of the United States. She inherits a massive financial problem that was caused by the last president, real estate mogul Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
This episode was produced during his presidential campaign of 2000, when his victory seemed extremely unlikely. However, it stopped being a joke when Trump was declared the 45th president of the United States. The first episode following the announcement contained a chalkboard gag that read, quote, "Being right sucks." This drawing showed that the writers are not always happy about what they predict.
If I'm gonna bail the country out, I'll have to raise taxes. But in my speech, I'd like to avoid calling it a painful emergency tax.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from...
Shit. After this, we might have to watch the Simpsons. They might predict the lottery, the mega lottery. Shit. If they predict that, I promise you, if they ever do a lottery ticket, bro, it's like the Mega Millions or whatever, I'm taking it. But whatever numbers they done got or trying to, I'm calling it. It could be 18, 37, 45, 15. I promise you, I'm writing it down. But what? Anyways, bro, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next video. We out.